Hi everyone, I'm Deanne from Newfoundland, Canada. Welcome to my Flosstube channel, Stitching on the Rock. We are at episode 66. And it is the 25th of January. Gosh, it's hard to believe that January has flown by this year. Usually it feels like it's 724 days in this month, but we have been very lucky weather-wise. We have 4 or 5 centimeters on the ground of snow. We've been getting, hit the table. We've been getting it in like dribs and drabs, 2 centimeters, a centimeter, 5 centimeters. And we've been having sunny but cold days, and it's melting off, but no, it's been so cold the last couple of days that it's stuck around. But no big storms yet, knock on wood. Since my last video, I have increased my subscribers by double digits. Wow. Welcome. I'm so happy you decided to join my channel and take a look at what I'm sharing. I'd love it if you'd comment below and let me know how you found my channel, whether it was from another Flosstuber or Instagram or just it came up on your feed. Whatever. I'd appreciate it so I can go and thank people. But yeah. And anybody who's been around for a while, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Got a full load of stuff. I've got an FFO. I've got lots of whips. I've got my new starts. I've got previous finishes. I've got happy mail and purchases. And I've got a Flosstube shout out. And I think that might be everything. But yeah, it's a full one. And as you saw by the channel, by the video name, on January 17th, I celebrated my 3rd Flossiversary, but I'm going to talk more about that at the end, so stick around. I might have a little something to say thank you. What's been going on in life? Other than the weather, Erin and I have both been sick since my last video again. Erin has been hit with it twice, or it's maybe not hit with it, but it's been like maybe he never got rid of whatever he started with in the first week of December, but back 2 days of school missed, back to the doctor, different antibiotics, went for a chest x-ray this time just to make sure it's not this walking pneumonia that we've been hearing about, but it's not. She said it was just showed viral. He's on his second last day, I think, of this prescription. He seems to be finally, knock on wood again, over it. Of course, 3 days after or 4 days after he got sick, I woke up with a head cold. But mine have all just been head colds. And excuse me if I'm clearing my throat. It's like here. And it won't go away. But it's like nothing, no big deal. Like he wrote his exams, midterms. He wore a mask the whole time. The first one a week ago Friday. So, a full week ago, he really wasn't well enough to be going, but he had to write it. And then he had one Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, which is crazy. Like, I wish they spread them out over 2 weeks instead of, like, it's really hard. Like, you spend all this time studying and writing the exam, and then you just got to kind of purge all of that so you can get the next subject into your head. I don't know how he does it. But he was off Thursday because he didn't have an exam on Thursday, and he was off yesterday because it was a teacher's day correcting, so they had the day off. We took him to get a shirt and tie for his graduation pictures, which blows me away that he's graduating high school this year. A white shirt and a black tie because their gowns are black, but they have a red, whatever that stripe is called, but getting the right color red is nearly impossible, so we thought black would be good. What else? I'm not supposed to be here today. 3 of my friends and I were spending this weekend at a friend's one of the girls' cabins. We were all bringing our hobbies, like a couple of the girls scrapbook. I cross-stitch. The other girl, she quilts and she cross-stitches and she scrapbooks, so I don't know it's her cabin, so she could bring whatever she wanted to bring. And then when the girls had a death in her extended family, and it was on the other side of the island, and they were going, so we postponed, and hopefully, I don't know if we'll get there in February because it's such a short month, but maybe in March. We'll see if the weather holds. What else? I think that's about it, other than, you know, regular everyday life of work and housework and, you know, all that fun stuff. So on to the cross stitching, which I know you're all here for. First up is my FFO. I told you last video I had one of the pillows I had stitched, or one of the pieces I had stitched last year, ready to finish as a pillow. I just had to finish the sewing up of it, so it's done. Actually, my sister sewed up the end. We won't tell. This one, here it is. It's Bird and Berry, it's called, and it's from Stony Creek, one of the Stony Creek magazines. I don't know which volume now, but if you're interested in knowing. And then I found this really cute, like, branch and pine cone that worked perfectly with the pillow. So he's kind of a winter one, another one to have for next winter. Then, sorry, don't tell it's pop. It's diet though. I showed you my Quaker Canada flag by Vivian Powers, or Vivisters, on Etsy last time, and how I had frogged out the gray and had done the bright white just a little bit to see what if I liked it, and I do. And then between what I showed you and what I stitched after, I put in 1,000 stitches in it, and I'm not sure that you're going to see. And I kind of had the idea of, once I get some more of the white motifs done in the pattern, for those of you who've seen it and know, between each Quaker tile she puts a line of blue, and I decided not to stitch it because there's no blue in the Canadian flag, but I thought between the white maybe I would stitch the line with the gray so that it might help the white tiles show up better. I haven't decided. I'm going to try it and see what I think of it, and then if I like it and I continue with it, I might get a deeper red and go between the red tiles with a deeper red on that line to make sure, so that they all have the line. Because if I'm going to do the line, I don't want to do it if that makes sense. But anyway, tell me what you guys think of that idea. So it's stitched 1/1 on 28 count even weave with sulky threads, and here is where I am. And like I said, I don't know that you guys are going to see the white over there. Let me bring it up close. So I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4 and a bit done on the half tiles of white. You can kind of see it. I know it doesn't show up great, but like when I get more done, it might show up better. And like I said, if I put the gray line between them, that might help it show up even better. So tell me what you guys think. It shows up pretty good in person, like up close. But like I said, you know, when I get the make-believe in and it finished with red and white, I'm sure, fabric around it, it will probably show up better. So that is that one. Next up, I did, and I didn't tell you, I'm going to put a picture of the flag and the next two of what they're supposed to look like in the corner, because I don't have cover pages for them. So next up, I did 500 stitches in, 1,000 stitches, 24.92%. It's only been 2 weeks. Don't know where brain is. So next up was Mini Hometown Hero Baseball by Donna Gelsinger for Heaven and Earth Designs. I put in 500 stitches. It's at 10.76%. It's stitched 1/1 on sapphire blue. Even weave, 28 count. And here we are. This is everything I have completed on the piece. Sorry about the wrinkles. And in my 500 stitches, I stitched in these orange lines going down here. And I also put in a lot of blue right here. Finish off like behind, or to work on behind the uniform. I think that's about all I did. Maybe Maybe a bit more down here, like up here. But yep, I've got 500 stitches into it. So 10.76%. Oh, and I should tell you, I was going to tell you, it's in my notes to tell you, I'm dividing my videos this year between pre-2025 whips and 2025 whips. Because for those of you who are new and may not know, I'm turning 55 this year. I know, I don't look like it. And so I'm starting 55 new things. So that's my dividing line of my new things for this year, the 55, and then everything I had started previously. So next up is Queen of Hearts by Rachel Anderson for Heaven and Earth Designs. It is stitched 1/1 on 28 count dahlia even weave, and I put in 500 stitches in this as well, and I'm at 3.76%. And this fabric collects threads. It's just everything clings to it. So here we are. Here is where I am on the whole piece, and my 500 stitches went right into this 310 right there, coming down the side. Yay. It's gonna take a while to get through this. It was my birthday start 2 years ago, and I'm at 3.76%. And my final pre-2025 piece that I worked on, and I'll put a picture of this one because the picture on the pattern is very awkward, is Fleur de Lis by Janette Douglas. It's one of the pieces in her Canadian Journey series. I put in 500 cross-stitch stitches in this, but I put in a lot of specialty stitches as well. I have to slide back because it's a very long piece. Sorry. So here is where we are. Where my thread hanging off there from, try and get the top and the bottom in. So I'm getting really close to being finished. I still have a bit of work, but I'm getting close. So since you saw it last, I completed this row, which was very difficult, but I got it done. I crossed off every single line that I made, and then I did the flowers, which are my first lazy daisy. I hope it's picking it up clear. Lazy daisy stitches ever. They're not perfect, but they're done. And then this row, this is metallic. I don't know if you can tell or not. I have 3 more of those to do across, but got 2 done so that I could move down. So I also stitched in Fleur de Lis, and this row, which are arches. I don't have the descriptions here to tell you what they are. So I have the arches done. These are bushes, and there's another color to go in, and they have some more over there, and it has to be back stitched. And then there's 1 more row to do of specialty stitches, and then all the stitching is done. I have to add beads. I have my Fleur de Lis charms that I have to put on, and I'm looking for, and if anyone can give me a suggestion of a Canadian site where I could possibly look, and I've looked everywhere that I can think of looking for a tiny yellow and red maple leaf. I have a store that was doing an order with them and said that they would get them in. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. I looked at just another button company, which is where the buttons are from, on the pattern, and they were like $4 per button and $25 shipping. So I crossed that off my list of doing. But I'm hoping this store will get back to me soon. And if not, if someone else has a suggestion of a Canadian site that I can find tiny well, they're just another bunting companies, tiny red maple leaf and tiny yellow maple leaf. And that's all my whips from before 2025. So my 2025 starts. For anyone new, I'll just tell you, I started on the 1st. I work a week on a piece, and I try to get 200 stitches in every day. And there has only been one day so far in January that I didn't stitch. I had a headache and just couldn't stitch. So I'm doing really good, because last year it was kind of hit and miss with when I stitched. So I get like 200 stitches or more, but at least 200 stitches in each day for a week on a piece, and then that gets put aside, and then I put it in a wheel, and then I pick up the next one and do the same thing. I am adding pieces on my birthday, on my son's birthday, and on Christmas Day to make up the 55. I'm in a Facebook group, challenge group, so on the days that I don't have to do a challenge, and all those 500 stitches were for a challenge, I spin my wheel of my new starts, and whichever one it lands on, I will stitch on that for that day, however much I get into it. And then the next time I will stitch my old whip wheel, so I'm not just stitching on the new stuff. I want to stitch on the old stuff too to get that finished. Hope that makes sense. So the first one I started on the 1st of January was October 31st by Cottage Garden Samplings. And I didn't have a challenge to do, and I was talking to my friend Michelle in PEI, and so I spun my wheel and I got October 31st, and I put in about 120 stitches in it. It's stitched 1/2 on 36 count winter moon linen that I then dyed myself, over-dyed it myself, and I'm using all the called for threads. So here is where it is now. So I put in 120-ish stitches. My counting is not always exact. I stitch here or there, because sometimes I get caught up in something and forget where I was. So I think I was about here when I finished my week. All the frame was done, and his head was done. So I think I was somewhere around here-ish. So I stitched down his back and his tail, and I'm coming over here, just outlining him with Raven. There he is. There's the whole thing. This is the third one in the series that I'm doing. I did, this is A Time for All Seasons series from Cottage Garden Sampling. I did First Signs of Spring, and I did Strawberry Harvest, and I have to say this one, which I thought would be harder because it blacks and grays mostly, is stitching a whole lot faster than the other. Now, I haven't gotten to the pumpkin yet, so we'll see. So that's that one. The second start of the year was Rainbow Temperature Supernova by Climbing Goat Designs. I'm doing it, the first temperature chart design that I've done. I'm doing it because my son is graduating high school this year, so I thought it was a fun thing to do to see where this year was. So I have 3 weeks completed in January. You can see that our temperatures have been pretty consistent. I mean, it's mostly greens there, a few yellows. This was our anomaly right there. We got up to 10 degrees that day in January, which is crazy. And then, not that night, but the next night, we got to -10. So those have been our two standouts for January so far. There is more blue in this week here, as you can see, so it's getting colder. And this is done up until Wednesday passed, so I haven't done Thursday, Friday, or Saturdays in it. So I do this one. I did my I started the second week, so I had the first week to put in, and then I did it stitch on every day the week that it was my start. And then since then, I'm going to be doing it once a week and get the whole week in. So I'll next Wednesday when I switch my projects, I will then put in this week before I start the next one. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I'm running out of room of where to put things. And I just thought I forgot to grab my next start. So then my third start, last week's start, was Daisy May by Stitching with the Housewives. It's stitched 2/2 on a 28 count Monaco that I dyed myself with aquamarine and tan, and I'm stitching this for my mom. She's when I won it from them, and when I showed it, she said, "Oh, I'd like to have that for Easter," and I'm like, "Okay." So here's where we are. We've gotten just about all the bunny done. The only thing left are her socks and her shoes. And then Michelle, when I was chatting with her, she said, "Are you going to do all the stuff that's on the pattern?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." I actually have a little stitch here from the bees, but I know that I'm gonna, well, I have to finish her socks and her shoes and her tail. I know I'm doing the daisy because obviously that's Daisy May. And then down at the bottom by her feet are a few little flowers. And then I'm going to ask my mom, since it's for her, if she wants all the bees and the beehives done or if she just wants her. We'll see what she has to say about that. And then my fourth start, my last Wednesday start, was from Paula Vaughn, A Quilt for All Seasons. I said this was my nostalgic start because I used to stitch a lot of Paula Vaughn when I started, and I actually have the ones that we have, because I gave a few away as gifts to people, and my mom had one, so I said, "Can I borrow that for my video?" And I actually have that and the two that I have in my house to show you guys after I show you this start. I just needed to clear away a little bit in between. So anyway, this is January's quilt. And I thought that was a good one to start in January. So it is stitched 2/2 on 28 count even weave. In the last week, last few days, I have put in, I don't have it there, how much I've put in. It's what happens when you think you got everything planned out and turns out you don't. Oh, here's my sword. Excuse me for bending. I have put in 620 stitches. So I haven't stitched today yet. Or yet today. I guess that's the right way. So here's where we are, which doesn't look like a whole lot. But if you look at the picture, so let's see, can I do both of these at the same time? So, here, kinda. The blue is the edge of the quilt going down. I started in the center, so I'm going down the quilt, and then I got down to the very bottom, and now I'm going up the curtain to get to the top. And so I'm going, this is the edge, the side, except for some half stitches that go along here by the curtain. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go across this way. And I forgot how to do a fractional stitch. I can't remember the last time I did a fractional stitch. Probably the last time I stitched a Paula Vaughn was the last time I did a fractional stitch. Half stitches, I'm like, okay, I gotta skip that and go back to it once I'm getting into the rhythm of all of this, and back stitching and all of that stuff. I don't do that very much anymore. None of us do. A lot of our patterns now don't even have back stitching, let alone quarter stitches. But I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna be back in a minute. I'm gonna clear up my whips, and then I'm gonna show you my previous Paula Vaughn finishes. Okay, I got my whips straightened away, and so I have 3 previous finishes of Paula Vaughn designs that I'm going to show you. I'll go smallest to largest. This one is the one that my mom has. Hopefully you won't get too much of a glare from the glass. This one is called Wedding Ring Bouquet, and it's, you can, oh, let me see if I can tilt it so you, oh no, that shows my light. Let's see, maybe right there. As you can see, it's the wedding ring quilt pattern that is in it, and bouquet of flowers on a window. So pretty. The thing with Paula Vaughn's is they just look like blotches until you get that back stitching in. Oh, I'm sorry about the glare. I'm trying to tip it away from the window. Hang on, just one second, guys. If I tip ignore the mess that you might see behind me. Does that help? Maybe a little bit. Still getting a bit of a glare. Maybe there. Next is probably my favorite that I did. This one is called Midsummer Roses. The hat and the bucket of flowers, I guess, behind with a lattice kind of line. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can get a good picture. It's hard. I can see like glare, but I don't know if you guys can. Bring it in a little bit closer. Guys. Kind of. Hopefully you can get a good look at it. And finally, I have to back up for this one. This one is called Tea, Roses, and Romance. It's pretty big. Here we go. Hat and the quilt and basket of flowers and the teapot. I hope you guys can get a good view. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And I've done several others that I've given away to other people for gifts. Let me tilt you guys back a bit again. So those are my previous finishes. Oh, my next start, which I'm starting on Wednesday, is going to be Flamingo Frolic by Helen Daly. Helen D here on Flosstube and East Coast Crafter on Instagram. I'm hoping to do it for the stand-up. She gives you the pattern that you can use to do the stand-up. So fingers crossed I can figure it out. That started on Wednesday. Next, I'm going to give you a bit more information on my February start. It's me. I did a little, like, these are my starts. Here's 1, here's 2. So I didn't give you any more information on it other than what the name of the chart was and the designer and when I was going to start them, like the date. So I thought I would give you a little bit more information, like the fabric and the floss, if there was any specialty flosses, if I dyed any of the fabric, anything like that. So on February 5th, I'm starting a Frosty Feast by Crosswing Collection. Here is the pattern. So I am not doing the large piece. I'm going to do one of the ornaments. I wanted to do some more ornaments for my tree. I got a new tree this past Christmas for my cross stitch ornaments, and there was 4 ornaments. So I want to do some more ornaments. So I'm gonna pick one of the snowmen here and do the ornament. And if I can get it done in a week, and who knows, I might start a second one because I have enough fabric. So it's being stitched with DMC. Just want to make sure I got the right count on my fabric because I'm not sure there's a tag on it. This is a strange pattern. I can't show you, but trust me, it's a strange pattern because every, instead of having everything in like one big pattern, they have each snowman, even if you're doing the big one, each one of these is charted separately, and even the little birds are all charted on little separate charts. So it's another one of the reasons why I didn't. Oh, it does have a tag on it. I'm looking for another one of the reasons why I didn't do the big piece is because, like, it's so cut up into little different patterns for each little piece. So I am stitching them on 32 count pearl gray. So I have lots of fabric to do all 4 of them on this. So that is February 5th start. Then on February 12th, and I know this is going to sound weird because I'm actually starting the Valentine's start that I pulled, or Erin pulled for me to start this month. I'm actually starting after Valentine's. I know, it's odd. So February the 12th, I am doing Poinsettia Stocking by Blackbird Designs, and it's this stocking right here with the ABC on it. This one here. And I dyed my own fabric, and I'm doing it. It was dyed with dark brown, I believe. It actually came out like a cocoa-y kind of color, and it calls for 2 specialty threads. Calls for 3 specialty threads. Week Dye Works Brick and Baked Apple and Gentle Arts Cherry Bark. So let me just spread those out. So there they are. So I think that'll look really nice on that fabric. And then on February the 17th, I am starting nope, it is this one. Be Mine by Primrose Cottage. And it is done on, I'm doing it on a piece of 28 count Monaco that I dyed Petal Pink. And these are the colors called for. And I think it is, they're all DMC, but I think it's going to look so nice on that. And then on February the 26th, I am starting Spring in Chalk by Priscilla Blaine and Kathy Hofferman. And I found it in this magazine, just Cross Stitch, April 2016. There it is, right there. And all the calls for threads, and I'm doing it on 28 count Monaco that I dyed charcoal gray. Here it is, and these are the call for threads. They are, oops, Week Dye Works Capri, Gentle Arts Avocado, Gentle Arts Chalk, Gentle Arts Tea Rose, and Butternut Squash. So that'll be fun and nice and springy. And those are my February starts. Now we have Happy Mail and purchases. So Happy Mail, one of my lovely, lovely subscribers who won one of my giveaways for my 700 subscribers, sent me this lovely handmade card. Beautiful, with a lovely note. And this I had never seen in a card before, the inside. But this is not her note to me, but this says, I didn't sign this card before I sent it off to you. Instead, it holds my warmest thoughts, invisible but true. So if you need to brighten someone's day, take this card and sign it, then send it on its way. So it's really cute. She had a personalized note in it, but she didn't sign the card so that I could use it to send to someone else, which I think is an awesome idea. And I may just send it, but leave that in it and send it off to someone so that they can resend it. And then inside she had Janette Douglas Chubby Bunny for me, which is adorable. And I love Janette Douglas's designs, and I love the Chubby Animal series. And of course, with my 55 starts, I don't have plans to start it this year unless I happen to pull something and say, I don't think I want to start that. This is an option. I have 3 now options because I got 2. I made 2 purchases at the Jingle Ball, so this is a 3rd one, so that if I decide that when I pulled my 55 things, I pulled all kinds of stuff from my stash that I had for years, and so maybe one thing might not pique my interest when it comes time to start kitting that one up. So my purchases. I've been slowly kitting my stuff, as you all know. And so I am now kitting June and July, I believe. Maybe May, June, and July. So I had some things come in. I told you earlier when I was talking about Fleur de Lis that I was going to be starting Atlantic Seedboard. And it has some Karen water lilies and begins with a W too. Well, one of the other Karen lines, they're silks, and they're just not in my budget with kitting up so many things. So I contacted Hannah at Evertoad, and she helped me match up some Roxy Flosco that was like half the price of the Karens. So I ordered them, and they came in. So we have winter solstice. We have How Do You Blue, and we have Thin Air. So they will be replacing the Karen silks in my Atlantic Seaboard, and I know you won't know the difference. I had for a couple of patterns come in some other flosses. For my future starts, I had Weeks Dye Works Indian Summer, which is a lovely red. And I had Rum Raisin, which is a deep purpley red. And I had Palomino. So they all go together in a pattern. And then I had, for another pattern, I had Classic Colorworks Little Sprout and Deep Blue Sea. And then I had Weeks Dye Work Grapefruit come in, and I can't figure out what I ordered it for. So I either hit the wrong color, or I have a pattern that needs grapefruit that I can't figure out which one it is, but we'll see where that goes. And then I also had 28 count antique weight. This is what I'm doing Atlantic Seaboard on. So that came in. So those are all my purchases. And I've been recommending floss tubes in a few of my videos, so I have one today that I want you guys to go and check out if you haven't already. Lisa from Black Coffee and Grits. She's in Texas. They have more snow than we had this past week, which blows me away. But she just did a 2024 finishing parade, and beautiful stuff she's done. And I really like her because she's the only floss tuber I have managed to find that seems to be as big a baseball fan as I am. Her team, of course, is the Rangers, and mine are the Blue Jays, but they're not in the same division, so we can get along. So I will link her below, just like I will link any of the Etsy stores that I've talked about below. And finally, it was my 3rd Flosstiversary this past week. And I can't believe that it's been 3 years since I started this channel. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed and watched and liked and commented. I really appreciate it all from you guys. And so I thought I would do a couple of Pass the Stashes as a little thank you. Neither one of which I have actually ever stitched. When I was pulling out my 55, I passed them over. And I thought, well, if I pass them over then I'm probably not interested in stitching them. Please be a subscriber. 90% of my new subscribers, I don't know who you are because your profiles are private. But if you're going to enter this, please be a subscriber. Like the video, that will really help me. Be over 18. Don't use the prize, giveaway, whatever, all those keywords. Just use the numbers 1 or 2. I don't know. Tell me what you're working on now. Tell me what design you're working on when you comment. I guess. Anyway, first up is these are both companies that this one I'm not sure exists anymore. The other one I think still does, but I'm not sure. This is For My Boys Believe. So this is 2001. This one was. So it's Believe. I hope it says Shining in the Night and then Believe below. That's number 1. And number 2 is from Sandman Originals. And this one is 2001 as well. So 24 years old now. And this one says Smells Like Snow. So they're both snowmen. Thought it was great for January. So number 1, number 2. And I think that's everything, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Happy stitching. See you next time.